maintain what you call chattel property. That means just physical being under corporate auspices or the slave trade. They created the Negro, which is a brand, i.e. traded places, which is actually the Anthropopithecus or the troglodyte nigger, which is the chimpanzee. All right? Which is the chimpanzee and the caveman. That scientific name goes for both of them, both of which you are not. All right? Now, what they did when they took over, they traded places and put that Negro name on the Aboriginal people in order to trade status places. Then in 1853, in Philadelphia, and up to 63 in Chicago, Illinois, the Whiggamore Party, under Horace Greeley, who was a newspaper tycoon in New York, took on the title white people, which is actually a classification of not dealing with complexion, but it's the sovereign classes of peoples. Do you understand? All right. Now, knowing that most of our people don't understand these things because they don't know language, they're not taught etymology. They're usually taking these code words as they're presented in their connotative or layered form. And then we go out to the world using these bywords, not knowing that we're actually coloring ourselves and putting ourselves in a legal status that allows them to legally, not lawfully, legally do a lot of things to us that we've been calling prejudice and a two standard of law and all the things that we've been calling it. It's actually under legal auspices. But we, as a people generally, for lack of education, not recognizing that our status has been neutralized, all right? So in order to deal with human beings under a corporate auspices, they had to create the brands. Those brands, and that's also why they put their family names on us, so that whatever we bought or sold, with the mark or the number of the name, automatically made us state property, which means we would never own anything. Do you understand? Also, because it's under corporate and not natural person, it made us taxable, when actually the natural person is not taxable. So they actually created a political status by which they could literally rape our communities, and we would be arguing racism and everything but what the problem is, because we didn't know what was wrong. The Uniform Commercial Codes were done in order to cover that up. Now, when we became awakened, do you understand? They started encouraging us to use the Uniform Commercial Codes so they could distract us from enforcing the Constitution. See, they took it over to uphold that Constitution, which also brings the treaties into effect as the supreme law of the land. But if they can get the people to look at the commercial codes and not constitutional principle, we went left. Now, when you see the information in the Uniform Commercial Codes dispensation, not the codes themselves, but in some of the information that's dispensed in the law of contract, it's powerful, because that's also an education that wasn't presented to our people. So they get enamored by it, their eyes get big, and they recognize the power that's in these documents, but they don't